This is the Patrol 600, the smallest boat in Highfield's patrol fleet. To date, we've really only driven Ocean Masters, and we're very impressed by the hull of an Ocean Master, but it has nothing on the patrol boat.
Hang on a minute. Before we show you how this boat drives, let's first take a look at some of the standard features on the Patrol 600. Designed for commercial use, the first thing we notice is the not-so-commercial gray and red colors, making for one sharp-looking boat. Then we see the size of the rub strakes. Not only do they wrap all the way around, but there's an extra vertical strake at the bow in front of the mooring bollard that would help keep an anchor line centered. Just behind the massive bollard is a dedicated anchor locker. The forward bow seat is cushioned and flips up to reveal more storage, while also covering the fuel fill. All Patrol model fuel tanks are integrated under the deck. 37 gallons of fuel weighs over 200 pounds, and distributing it below the deck helps spread the weight out while keeping the center of gravity low. This heavy-duty console is about the only fiberglass part on the Patrol 600. It is intentionally narrow to provide maximum cockpit space, but still provides decent storage. The helm is Spartan yet functional, with room for larger electronics. Large, sturdy grab handles hint at the true capability of this hull. There's a single leaning post at the helm with a flip-down bolster and more grab handles for those in close proximity. The aft bench is at least 3 wide and opens on gas struts to reveal even more storage. The entire deck and transom are covered in our favorite EVA foam for traction and comfort. But take notice of the massive cockpit drains. The large ones are 2.5 inches in diameter and have flaps on the transom to prevent backflow. If you're expecting the worst, you can leave the plugs out for the fastest possible self-bail. Probably the most notable feature though is the hull. The Patrol hull is completely different from the Ocean Master. It has 2 sets of aggressive reverse chines for maximum lift and a very deep V dead rise of 26 degrees. This is the most aggressive aluminum hull I've seen personally, and I couldn't wait to try it out. A local marina resident suggested we visit Stiltsville, an interesting destination on the edge of Biscayne Bay with a somewhat mischievous past. So we decided to take the Patrol out there for more colorful scenery.
We're traveling right now at about 7 knots, and that's about maximum bow rise, and I can still see clearly over the bow. But that flare in the bow, that's designed to keep you dry. That really helps keep the water away. Once again, Highfield really has nailed the ergonomics. It's a very comfortable console, a great flip-up bolster for easy access, and lots of room here to maneuver around. The windshield offers quite a bit of protection. It isn't glass, and there is a slight bit of distortion where the bend angles are, only about 1 inch. Nothing that really interferes, but it is nice to have that wind protection. This little Honda 150 is brilliant. I mean, it's ultra quiet, and Honda has a fairly wide turning angle, so maneuverability at the dock in this boat is excellent.
The great thing about aluminum hulls, they are strong and light, which means you don't need a lot of horsepower to get high levels of performance. 115 horsepower might be enough, but with the 150, this boat is pretty quick. We measured a time to plane of less than 4 seconds and a top speed closing in on 45 miles per hour. It doesn't take long to get the feeling that this hull is very different. Highfield uses marine-grade 5000 series aluminum in their hulls, but the Patrol boats get the tougher 5083 series aluminum with 6 to 10 millimeter stringers, all designed to take a serious pounding. In these environmentally conscious times, it's interesting to note that aluminum, as opposed to its GRP counterpart, is easily recyclable. Plus, the powder-coated method used for protection has the benefit of releasing fewer toxins to the environment than traditional painting.
Instead of just one lifting strake down each side, this boat actually has reverse chines on the outside. It rides a lot higher out of the water. In fact, you can get this boat riding high enough where the tubes aren't touching the water at all. And what that means is a much more efficient hull.
It also makes for a very dry ride.
With a 26-degree very fine entry point, you can just imagine the ride comfort.
Just check out how this hull slices through the waves. Rough seas should not be an issue, and your passengers will be pleased with the ride quality, especially on longer trips.
I'll tell you something else, this boat is so maneuverable. It is an absolute blast to drive. Amazing how it turns, just amazing. You can turn this boat at almost its own length, it's incredible. You can even control ventilation if you're careful with your turn. If you ham-fisted a bit, the prop will ventilate. But if you control the boat's attitude, with those big reverse tines, she digs in and just turns.
There are a few different configurations available, with options such as jockey seats, roll bars, and even an inflatable sun deck. While engineered for commercial use, a Patrol would make a fantastic family boat, especially if you want to explore larger bodies of water and want the added security that inflatables provide. With relatively calm seas, we were nowhere near approaching the limits of this hull, if there are any. The ride is extremely soft, and our only regret was not having more time to explore further.